today we're on page 12 in our binder, and we're talking about easy order of operations problems. Now, you learned order of operations last year in 5th grade, but this year all we're going to add to it is some special symbols. We're going to talk about different grouping symbols or parentheses symbols. We're also going to talk about exponents, which is what we talked about the other day. So it shouldn't be too difficult to add that in now into order of operations problems. Now, in elementary school, you may have talked about Pemdas. But in middle school, we're going to talk about it as Gemdas. And the reason for this is because we start to work with different types of grouping symbols in 6th grade rather than just parentheses. So the G in 6th grade is going to stand for groupings. And groupings can include different things. They can include the square brackets, and they look like this, and we'll talk about those. So square brackets. We still talk about parentheses. And we're going to talk about fraction bars as groupings. Okay, so those are our different categories of groupings that we're going to run into in 6th grade. Now the E stands for exponents, those little numbers up in the corner that you need to solve. Okay. Now when we write Gemdas, we like to write M and D beside each other. M and D stand for multiply or divide. And the reason we say multiply or divide is because whichever one comes first in the problem has to go first. So if divide comes first, we do divide first. If multiply comes first, we do multiply first. We always go from left to right in the problem. And it's the same thing with adding and subtracting. So AS, add or subtract. And it depends on which one comes first in the problem. Left to right, front to back, however you want to think about it. If adding comes first, then adding goes first. If the subtracting is first, then the subtracting is solved first. Okay, so let's look at our first example that we have here. I like to write Gemdas off to the side just so that I can follow my order of operations. And I can cross them out as I go. So, our first question we ask ourselves, do we have any groupings? Well, we have groupings right there. So we're going to solve our groupings. 6 minus 3. Well, 6 minus 3 is 3. So I'm going to write that underneath what I solved, and then I'm going to copy down everything else that was in the problem. Now, I know this is a step that you may not have shown in 5th grade, but starting in 6th grade, we need to start preparing you for what they're going to expect you to write down in algebra. So the more we practice now, the easier it'll be whenever we get there. So we need to make sure that we're writing all of our steps down. So do we have any more groupings in this step right here? No, we do not. Do we have any exponents, those little numbers? Well, I do right here. I have 2 to the 2nd power. 2 to the 2nd power is 4, so I'm going to write that down. And then I'm going to put everything in front, times 3, and everything behind, divide by 3. And then I look. Do I have any more exponents to solve? No, so I'm done with exponents. Do I have any multiplying or dividing to solve? Well, I have both. So I look which one is first. 3 times 4 is first in line, so I'm going to solve that first. So 3 times 4 is 12, and I'm going to write 12, then divide by 3, bring everything down. And then I'm going to solve my last piece. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And if you could, when we're solving these problems, make sure you always circle your answer at the bottom. That way it's easy for you to see and then easy for me to see when I'm checking your work. Okay, let's look at the second example. And I have to turn the page. So the second example down at the bottom of your page, I'm still going to write my Pemdas off to the side. Okay, now, do you see how this exponent is outside of the grouping symbols here? What that means is I have to solve everything inside of this grouping before I can get to this exponent. So I need to solve my groupings, my G. So I'm going to do 4 minus 1, which ends up giving me 3. Now I'm going to leave it in parentheses since this 3 is squished outside and the 2 is there. It's always better to wait to get rid of parentheses that are around numbers than to get rid of them, because you may lose the operations that are around them. Okay, so do we have any more grouping symbols? Well, we do here, but there's only one number inside, so really it's like a fake out grouping. It's pretend, it's a trick, okay, because there's only one number inside. So actually we're going to be done with our groupings. The next question we ask is, do we have an exponent? Well, we have this 2 as the exponent to 3 here. So it's 3 times 3 times 3. Oh, I'm sorry, to the second. What am I talking about? So it's 3 times 3, which is 9. And then, what does it mean when it's squished like this on the outside? Well, it actually means multiply. Anytime anything is squished like that, you need to add a multiply sign. Or you could leave it in parentheses. That would be okay too. And then you have plus 2, or 22, I'm sorry. Do I have any more exponents to solve? No. Do I have any multiplication or division? I do right here, the 3 times 9, which is 27. Then I'm going to bring down the plus 22. And then I'm going to perform the last step. 27 plus 22 gives me 49. So probably the trickiest thing that you are going to encounter is whenever you're working with parentheses, it's always better to leave the number in parentheses until the end. That way you don't get it messed up. And it's very important, if you look at the bottom, it says 1 operation per step. For full credit on tests or quizzes, each problem must be solved using only 1 step or 1 operation per step, and all work must be shown. So you cannot just type all these in your calculator or do them in your head. You need to show me every single step that you're going to do. So let's look at the next page. So if we look up at the top, it said what would be the first step to solving these problems. So if we look at the first one, you can think to yourself, or you can write your Pemdas up here. G-E-M-D-A-S. What would be first to solve? And all you're going to do is circle it. So let's do the first one together. Do I have groupings? Yes, I only have 2 numbers, so it's going to be 15 minus 5 is going to be first. And let's do one more together. Well, do I have groupings? No. Do I have exponents? No. Do I have multiply or divide? Yes. I have to ask myself, which one comes first? The division comes first. So the division is what I circle. I want you to pause the video here, finish the rest up to number 6. When you're ready, unpause the video. Alright, if we look at number 3, we're going to do the groupings first here. In number 4, no groupings, but we're going to do the exponent first. In number 5, I don't have any groupings, I don't have any exponents. I do have multiplication and division. I'm going to do the division first because it comes first in the line. In number 6, I don't have any groupings, but I do have an exponent, so I need to solve 4 to the 2nd power. Okay? Now, I want you to pause the video here. I want you to try to solve number 7 on your own, showing all your steps. When you're ready, unpause the video and we'll check number 7 together. Alright, now that you've done number 7, let's check our work. So, I'm going to write my Pemdas off to the side just so I can cross them out as I go. Do I have any grouping symbols? No. Do I have any exponents? No. Do I have any multiplication or division? Yes, I have both, but I'm going to do the division first because it's in front. So I have 6 divided by 3, which is 2. I'm going to copy everything down that's around that. And if you need to, you could also box it in so you could see what's in front and what's behind. Okay, I still have more multiplication division right here. So I'm going to solve that. 2 times 7 is 14. And then I have plus 8, plus 2. And then I'm done with multiply, divide. All I have left is add, subtract. I have to start in the front. So 8 plus 14 gives me 22 plus 2. And then 22 plus 2 is 24. Okay, so that should have been in your answer for number 7. Pause the video here. Try number 8 by yourself. When you're ready, unpause the video. Alright, let's go over number 8 together. So if we look at number 8, I'm going to write my Pemdas off to the side over here, just to remind me. Do I have any groupings? No. Do I have any exponents to solve? No. Do I have any multiplication or division? Yes, I do. Division is first, is 8 divided by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Copy everything in the front, copy everything in the back. Now, do I have any more multiply or divide? Yes, I do, right here, 2 times 9. 2 times 9 is 18. Copy everything in the front, copy everything in the back. Do I have any more multiplication or division? No. Do I have any addition or subtraction? Yes, I'm going to start at the front. 6 plus 18 gives me 24. Copy everything in the back. And then the last step, 24 minus 4 gives me 20. Okay? Let's look at the bottom two. Try number 9 by yourself. When you're ready, unpause the video and we'll check it together. Okay, now that you've solved it, let's go over it together. Do I have groupings? Yes, I have 5 plus 10. 5 plus 10 is 15, but I'm going to leave it in the groupings just to be safe. And I have a 4 out front. Okay, if you need to remember that squished is multiply, put a little dot there. Do I have any exponents to solve? No. Do I have any multiplying or dividing? Yes. I have to do multiply first. So 4 times 15 gives me 60. Copy everything in front. Copy everything behind. Do I have any more multiplying or dividing? Yes. Here, 60 divided by 5 gives me 12. Plus 61. And then 61 plus 12 is my last step. And I get 73. Okay. Go ahead, solve number 10 by yourself, and I'll give you the answer. Okay, and the answer to number 10 should have been 12. And if we go through that real quick, 48 minus 12 should have given you 36. If you want to, leave it in parentheses just to be safe. Multiplying or dividing, yes. 36 divided by 6 gives you 6. More multiplying and dividing, 5 times 2 is 10. Done with multiplying and dividing, do my adding and subtracting in order. And then finish my problem, which gives me 12. Okay, so go ahead and try the next page, page 14, by yourself after you finish the activity that is posted in Vision.